Women are not only important partners in the drive for governance across the globe, but they are very necessary partners. And I want to encourage our men that the evangelism for the liberation of the African woman, the crusade for the upliftment of the African child, a girl child, should not be that of women and development partners alone. The men, it is time for us to step into this arena and promote African women. And I want to believe it will catapult, energize our women to take their rightful place in Africa. First, don't limit your challenges. Instead, challenge your limits. That is what African women should be doing. And I want to say, all limits are self-imposed. Nobody is going to give you a limit. Only you can create a limit for yourself. Self-confidence is a superpower. Once you start to believe in yourself, magic starts happening. Don't be afraid of failure. Failure is being in the same place next year as you are today. So we must, as a matter of certain limits, make sure that where you are now, if you are in the same position next year, then you are a failure. Doubting yourself is normal. Letting it stop you is a choice. If you talk about it, it's a dream. If you envision it, it is possible. But if you schedule it, then it becomes real. Then let your choices reflect your hopes and not your fears. What holds you back is not who you think you are. It is who you think you are not. One of the most underrated secrets to success is to start before you are ready. That's one of the most effective secrets to success. Allow yourself to be a beginner. No one starts off excellent. So things must not be perfect before you take off. Quitting won't speed it up. Don't say because there's a slow process, you want to quit. Even if you quit, it won't speed it up. Success doesn't come from what you do occasionally. It comes from what you do consistently. And that is why I'm happy with the She African Forum, that despite all the challenges, despite the limitations, they are going ahead, and this is the 10th edition. So success will not come from what you do periodically or occasionally, but what you do consistently. The African woman will not get to the right place in history by occasional participation, but when you are consistent in your drive to fulfill the Beijing resolutions, then you will get there. You are never too young to start an empire and never too old to start a new dream. We don't grow when things are easy. We grow when we face challenges. Be productive, not busy. There are a lot of people who are busy, but not productive. Instead, make sure you become productive and not just busy. What matters for you to get your goals, African women, is what the women are doing. So don't get disenergized by what the men are doing. Instead, be encouraged with what you women will be doing. Get into the habit of asking yourself, does this support the life I am living or trying to create? There is no elevator to success. You have to go through the staircase. We cannot become what we want by remaining what we are. So that means we must change our ways, because doing seminars, workshops cannot take us there. So the African women will have to re-strategize, because you cannot be doing the same thing and expect a different result. In order to become the 1%, you must do what the other 99% won't do. That is the way it is. Everything you need is already inside you. Don't wait for others to light your fire. You have your own matches. Don't wait for others to encourage you. Don't wait for others to push you. Do it yourself. So that's why I said, don't wait for others to light your fire. You've got your own matches. Light your fire yourself. There will never be right time, so stop waiting and start doing. You go to bed with a dream, but you wake up with a purpose. Know that if you avoid failure, you are also avoiding success. Because many people don't want to go the hard way. 97% of the people who quit too soon, they are employed by the 3% that never gave up. There's a lot in history to elucidate that 97% of people who quit too soon ended up being employed by the 3% that stayed on. Let your addiction for growth be stronger than your addiction for comfort. That's a recipe for challenging your limits. You will never know your limits unless you push yourself to them. No fear, no limits, no excuses. When there's no fear, there will be no limits. And when there are no limits, there will be no excuses. Limits, like fear, are often an illusion. Limits, like fears, they are often an illusion. Many a times you think you cannot attain a goal, you cannot achieve a purpose, and you get disencouraged. It's just a mirage. It's just a mere challenge. It's an illusion. By the time you confront it, you will definitely get to the promised land. And I want to tell the African women and every one of us here today that your limit is you, and you are your limits. I want to please appeal to the development partners across the globe, the UN, the DFID, the women, all development partners, that we've had enough of training for Nigerian women. We've had enough of seminars, symposiums for African women. I will preach and advise that you graduate from training, from supporting conferences to actually supporting elections. By supporting these women, by funding their elections, because the limit for most women is capital, is finance. So instead of spending your budgets of millions of dollars on conferences, on training, on how to educate, how to improve, how to indoctrinate positive democratic tenets in women, please start direct funding of elections where women are concerned. And we will get to that goal of getting women in positions of authority in politics, in governance, faster than these trainings that will give them the education, but there will be no means for them to execute it. Because most times they get all the conferences, attend all the conferences, all the seminars, get all the training, but when it comes to funding of the election, there is no fund to fund the election. So I want to say, let's graduate from all these trainings and conferences to actual funding of women participation in politics. Thank you and God bless you.